Hi guys, Lisa here from Imagine Acre Wood. We're going to go over how we do one of our healthy snacks, and we're going to be making granola today. And this is one of my favorite snacks because it's so versatile. You can eat it on its own, you can add it to tons of different things. This is a pretty basic and my go-to recipe, so let's get started. Okay guys, I already started off in our dry mixing bowl with 4 cups of old-fashioned oats. You really want to make sure you're using old-fashioned. You could use it various different varieties. You can get it from the bin, you can get it from, you can do it from Costco, lots of different options, but you really want that big grain in there as far as you don't want to use any type of quick cooking oats because it won't come out. And then we're going to just start going through dry ingredients. So this is a cup, 1 cup of nut. You can use whatever one you want. So this is one option. I use a cup of coconut flakes, or you can add a different type of nut. So that option is up to you. I really like that sweetness in it. And then we're going to do half a cup of dried fruit. I did raisins because that's honestly what I had on hand. I typically like to use a craisin because I like that more sweeter tart kind of taste, but this one, raisins are also a really good option. Then whatever your favorite seasoning is, so this is a half a tablespoon of cinnamon. So you just want to add that all in. Okay, so that's really all it is to it for the dry ingredients. We're going to move on to the wet ingredients. We're going to start off with, this is 1/3 cup of melted butter. Now you could also use melted coconut oil, which sometimes I do. But for today, we're gonna do, I like the saltiness of the butter with this mix of almonds. So we are gonna use butter. So make sure you get that all out and in there. Okay, so then you're gonna choose another type of flavoring. It could be any type of syrup you want in there. You can use maple syrup. You can use, there's lots of different types of like caramel, anything that's kind of warm I would do with the almonds. I'm going to use just some plain vanilla, and that is 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And then a sweetener. So I use honey. You really want to try and use something that is, you could use like a monk fruit. You can use, I'm using honey today. You can use agave. Lots of different options. I usually always have honey on hand. So I like to use ingredients and make recipes that I don't have to really go out and buy anything extra. I have to worry about having it. I usually always have honey on hand. So we're going to just kind of mix this up a bit. Now, I'm going to let you on a secret. This is a secret ingredient. Well, not so secret if you guys already know about it. But I came onto this tip, I don't know, about a year ago. And I saw it in a recipe, and I really honestly didn't care for that granola recipe because it was just too many different ingredients that you probably wouldn't have on hand all the time. But how to make it more clumpy, like more clustered, rather than just it's easier to eat, you know, you get those big clumps in it, is to add 2 egg whites to the mixture. And that helps kind of keep it together and just kind of gives it that better clumpy texture of oatmeal. I'm sorry, granola. I was looking at the oats. So we're just going to mix all that together. And then you're going to want to pour in a little bit at a time to the dry ingredients. Okay guys, and then I'm just going to go in and add just a couple more little dollops of honey. So I've used, this is the first time using this honey in the little, it's very handy, but I like the way that it squirts out. Got this, but it's not as thick as the honey that I've used to use. So I'm going to add a little bit more. So depending on what kind of honey, this is clover honey that we're using. Depending on what kind of honey that you're using, or agave, or whatever type of liquid sweetener, you may need to add just a little bit more to that mixture. And here we go. So you want to set your oven to 280, and you're just going to slide that in and let it do its work. You're going to want this to go for 45 minutes, but I check it around 35 minutes, 10 minutes before it's completely done. We're up a little bit in elevation, so that might have change in how long we cook it for. Lots of different things. Your oven could be different. So I check it about 10 minutes before it's due at 35, but let it go to 45 if it doesn't look completely done. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, guys, grab an oven mitt. We're gonna check this out. It seriously smells so good. So that looks perfect. This is exactly what you want. It's nice and golden. It's going to even richen up even more. We're going to turn the heat completely off. And then we're going to tuck it back in here and let it get to room temperature slowly. You want to make sure the heat is completely off. And then you want to just crack your oven ever so slightly. Yeah, guys, so you just want to have the oven cracked, and then just let the, you want to check it. It usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour to let it completely cool. And then you'll be ready to store it or enjoy it, either one or both. So I usually use a Tupperware container. If it's completely cool, you can also put it in a Ziploc bag or portion it up in individual snack bags. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you again on Imagine Acre Wood. Okay guys, this is our finished product, and it's so, I already tasted it, it's super yummy, and super easy. Just there's a kind of a long wait time process, but so it breaks up and you're just like these clusters that are formed. It's super easy, and you just want to kind of just scrape it up. Look how pretty. I just love it. Something so satisfying when it comes out so perfect. Something that you've been working on. Okay guys, again, Lisa here from Imagine Acre Woods. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let me know what you think. If you try this recipe, let me know how much you love it. Thanks so much. See you next time. Thanks guys.